Welcome everyone. What we're here to find out to do is random overpowered versus Protoss? So we have here a 5.5k. This is his main account, so he has a Smurf too. That's apparently higher. He used to be 6k random player FightingFrog. And about 2 weeks ago, I tweeted, if there's any random player that wants to play against me and I'll play Protoss to see that random advantage versus Protoss, I would love to do a show match. So here we are. I'll be playing Protoss versus his random.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
And we'll see how it goes. Now, I might lose the show match. I don't know. I might lose it. The point is, we will see how many games are affected by the fact where I'm putting my first pylon. That's the real juicy research here that we're doing, okay? That's the point. VLS, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Welcome. Thank you. So, this is part of the whole, if you've been watching my YouTube for the past month or two, with the whole, oh my god, random has an unfair advantage and yada yada. And my argument was it doesn't, because random player can never be equally as skilled as, you know, the opponent they're playing. The counter argument to that from the people is first probe was, or first pylon is extremely important. Don't tell me, Race.
We don't have enough minerals.
And I said that first pylon is not that big of a deal. Sure, it can be important, but it's not that big of a deal. And basically, the option against Terran doesn't really matter. You can wall off here, you can wall off here, you can wall off here. Against Protoss, it's preferably to wall off here, and then against Zerg, it's preferable to wall off on your natural.
We don't have enough minerals.
So I don't think there's a big difference. I think if this is PvZ and I made my wall on top of the ramp, I don't think that's the end of the world, because the opponent's Zerg is, you know, more likely than not, Zerg will be their weakest race because there's 2 more races to play. Here, that makes sense. So anyway, here's the show match. We're doing it. FightingFrog messaged me like 2 weeks ago, but he actually wanted to take a little time to practice and like get his skill with random in order. So I gave him some time, and here we are. What I do know is Protoss is his highest MMR. I think his Terran is the weakest, and then his Zerg. So his Protoss is like 6.1k on EU. His Terran, I'm not sure, but I think it's like 5.2, and then Zerg is like 5.4 or something like that, or 5.5. I'm not sure. Currently on this account. Again, he probably has another account which I don't know. But this is literally the highest rated MMR random player I could find.
That'll cost Need more minerals for that.
Well, he's definitely proxying me. Question is, what is he proxying me with?
We don't have enough minerals.
Intriguing.
Is it a Stargate? Is it a Robo? Is it a Twilight?
We are you require my I am the voice of the eclipse. State
Our
thy
probes are
bidding.
under attack.
We are.
Okay. Or he might be mind gaming.
That'll cost more minerals.
So, what some high-level Protoss players do, they make proxy pylon on the map and they don't do anything with it. Because then you're worried, like, oh my god, there's a proxy. Like,
That'll cost
I just
more
did, and
minerals
meanwhile they
than we
expand normally. Yeah, so he's scanning with
have enough
hallucination.
minerals.
Cold is the I am the heart of darkness.
Can't warp that in. More minerals.
I went very heavy on the probes, and I put gateways quite a bit late because I saw that he was going for expand as well. Okay, I'm gonna get a forge.
To lie bare.
We don't have enough minerals. We don't have enough minerals.
Our window is short. How can I eat?
Cold is the void.
I think we need more pilots.
Wait, so he is going star again?
You require. I am the heart.
That'll cost more
Phoenix.
minerals than we have.
I'm assuming those are gateways. I didn't see properly.
Enemy is gunning for our probes.
I am here in the shadows.
Can't warp that in.
Okay, I'm feeling pretty safe to expand again.
Glory is eternal. Here in the shadows. Unseen.
That'll cost more minerals.
He's investing into Phoenix, which are obviously not going to do much. Even if he attacks me.
I am
Can't warp that in.
cold is the
We
void.
don't have enough minerals.
See, I'm not sure if I should get Blink here or no.
State thy bidding. I am the voice of the eclipse. I am here in the shadows. You
An omen.
So far, very standard game. This is his best race, so I can imagine he is playing a long game because, you know, he doesn't want to take risks. He probably feels that this is his best chance to win.
That'll cost more minerals for that. We don't have enough minerals. Need more minerals for that.
Oh, he's going for
That'll
disruptors.
cost more minerals than we have. Need more minerals.
We meet our fate.
You require my
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We completely mined out of it. We're done with the research. That'll cost more. Need more minerals for that. Nothing left in that mineral cluster. That'll cost more minerals than we have. Energy's too low. Need more minerals for that. We need more Beastyqt. We don't have enough. Our probes are under attack.
fucking wrecked.
I guess that can't work. We need more minerals for that. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
I even saw the stasis traps.
We don't have enough minerals.
I even saw and I walked into them. GG. Yeah, he had hallucinated Archons as well, and I lost my observer. I was pretty sloppy by me. GG. So I gotta get a feel of how he plays. This was his Protoss, so he obviously plays for the longer game. And this was his first game. So I feel like if you play your first game at a best of 7, like, careful, you're probably gonna keep playing like that the whole series. Because if you want to go wild, I feel like, especially as a random, you would want to do that, you know, right at the beginning. Every player has a weak spot, and you just gotta find what your opponent's is, especially like in the longer series. You can play more and more games and kind of figure out how they play.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
I'm gonna scout. I'm gonna do pylon scouts every game.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
I mean, I'm still doing pylon on the high ground, but I kind of want to get a better. Just knowing what race he is in advance or faster is gonna help me mentally kind of prepare.
Need more minerals.
Also, there's stuff like he can cannon rush me, but because he's random, I'm scouting like really early, so I'll probably see it. So, cheesing, popular belief is like random is really good for cheesing. Random is actually really bad for cheesing because let's say he was cannon rushing. No one scouts after pylon in PvP, but because he's random, I'm scouting super fast. So if he did a cannon rush, I would have seen it straight away. So if you're out there and you want to be a cheesy mother trucker, like cannon rushes and proxy raxes, random's probably not good. Not probably, it's not good. It's better to race pick. Okay, I'll start putting on the aggression and we'll see how he deals with aggression.
Our probes are that'll cost more minerals than we have. Need more minerals for that.
So far, the one thing I'm noticing is he's not scouting at all.
Construct additional pylons.
Justice be done.
No F's given for scouting.
We are the least limited. We embrace the glory of battle. Adam, we stand as one. And Terran has come.
We serve with pride.
We are the blade.
Let your will,
My meditate.
ire, shall be reclaimed.
Order.
Najakar Mina. Give us your command.
Justice be done.
Yeah.
We embrace the glory of battle.
The first born shall persevere. Faith, let combat we serve with pride. To glory, ire, give us your command. Let
So no add-ons.
Let your will be heard. Ire shall be reclaimed. We ire. Let Najakar Mina. Let your will be heard. We are of one mind. Spare none who up. Yes, Executor.
We're done. Energy's too low.
Hordes Allah. Where shall we mark?
Feeling pretty good about this one.
Give us your command. Glorious combat is upon us.
Losing the adept, you know, not as good, but
I am the voice of the eclipse. We are one with
I'm gonna go up to 4 gates because my second and third gate are late. So having the fourth one will make me kind of catch up.
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals.
Europe.
He went Cyclone, so probably no drops.
Can't warp that in. I guess that can't work without. Enemy is gunning for our probes.
Wow, Liberator.
Is the void.
Wait, what the hell?
That'll cost.
I am here.
Can't warp that in.
I am here. You require my skills. Stay.
Energy's too low. We don't have enough minerals. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Cold is the void. We are one with the shadows.
We serve.
We
Seems more pylons are required. Need more minerals.
Very careful movements
I
with
think we need more pylons.
with his units. He doesn't really take a lot of risks.
We don't have enough minerals.
And the opener? I guess the opener is fine. The Liberator is kind of uncommon because nobody really opens one Liberator harass versus Protoss.
Not enough minerals.
you require my skills.
Can't warp that in.
We are one with the shadows. The voice
Okay, so you can see Terran is his weakest. His macro is slipping quite a bit.
require my skills.
Ooh, double factory.
I am. We. I am the void.
Research complete. Completely mined out of space. Energy's too low. We're done with the research. We need more Vespine.
So he's probably not gonna have super good multitasking with Terran. So I'll try to abuse that.
Mineral field depleted. We don't have enough minerals. Nothing left in that mineral cluster. Upgrade complete. Upgrade is ready for use.
We are the blades of iron embraced with glory of battle.
Not enough energy.
We stand as
We don't have enough minerals. enemy is gunning for our probe.
I bask in the twilight. Is upon us.
What's that in? We're done with this.
Blades of iron.
Gee. Is it me or is Beastie shaking? No, I'm not shaking, I'm moving. I'm moving. The caffeine is hitting me. It's because I'm also sitting up, kind of. Usually I'm like this. So I'm just chilling, you know? Yeah, I got the moves. That's what's happening. 1-1. My heart's beating. My heart's beating.
Hold position. Operation.
Okay, it's ready. Okay. Alright, 1-1. This epic video game just turned into a best of 5. Now, the real question is when he gets a Zerg,
More minerals than we have.
can he abuse the fact that I'm walling off on the high ground? Or I can mix it up and I can open on the low ground soon.
We don't have enough minerals. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Okay, let's see what it is. If it's Protoss, we're gonna get another gas. It's Terran again. Time to tearing it up. Okay, he's scouting. Never mind. I was gonna proxy second gate, but yeah, he sent the SCV. I thought if he doesn't scout now, I'm gonna just proxy the second gate, but he did. So he has 2 on gas, which is interesting. I'm not sure if a mistake or what. Another thing, whenever you play against a random player and they're playing with their weaker, well, even if they're playing it with their best race, I would always steal their gas, which, by the way, he took the gas really early now. So that's interesting as well. I would always steal their gas because random players in general don't know how to do many builds. They usually like do their own thing, like, you know, one all-in or one macro build and that's it. So whenever you do something to throw that off, they kind of fall apart a little bit. So
That's gonna require
in my
more
opinion,
gas.
whenever you play against random player, you should try force those kinds of like weird situations. Even though they might not be something big for you in your opinion, it might be huge for them.
The enemy is gunning for our probes.
We serve. Najakar.
I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't good for me. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm gonna go Phoenix. Phoenix, see, this is another thing. Phoenix is something that every Protoss, every Terran player sees eventually, right? But how many times does a random player see Phoenix? Because if you're playing against random, would you really open Phoenix? You know, all you gotta do is play safe, right? So they don't see a lot of the units that you might see if you main a race.
Give us combat awaits. Fire shall be glory.
That's a really fast tech club. Is that for Cyclones?
Where shall we march? No,
I guess it
give
is.
us your where.
That'll cost more
Yep.
minerals than we have.
Yes, Executor. We come.
We don't have need more minerals for that.
On the way. I am eager to strike. Time for...
So what is he doing with the second gas? I'm guessing Banshee?
That's gonna require more gas.
Teleport successful.
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals.
Oh no, he's doing a super greedy build. I'll try punish this. He's doing like late starport with 2 extra CCs. And again, random players can get away with this because people are not usually aggressive when facing them.
Teleport successful. Warp the sky.
Yes,
Anan Porkal.
No.
Time. Warp. Anan Pork.
Need more minerals for that.
Teleport successful. Zero back. I am time.
Let your
Time for battle. Warp. Anan. The skies are where? Zero back. Cry on.
Warp that in.
Where do our enemies live? The skies open. I am eager to strike. Teleport success. Time for battle.
I'm gonna lift that.
Warp that in.
That's GG.
Online. Where do our enemies
Can't warp that in.
live? Anan, time for battle. The skies open. I will comply. I am eager to strike.
Not enough. Need more minerals for that. We don't have enough minerals.
Warfield online. Azul du Templari. Siravek. Anan Porkal. The skies await. Anan Porkal. Where? Warfield online. For honor. The sky, the sky. Where do our enemies live? I am eager to strike.
Need more minerals for that. Energy's too low. Upgrade is ready. Mineral field depleted.
The sky. I stalk through the stars.
Mined out a mineral field.
One book of where for honor. Time for battle.
We need more. That'll come. We don't.
The enemy.
That's gonna require more gas. Need more minerals for that. We don't have enough. That'll cost more minerals. Not enough Vespine. That's gonna require more gas.
The sky. Where I am.
You know what also random player is not very familiar with? Disruptors.
Huh, I guess that can't work. Warp that in. Upgrade complete. Need more minerals for that. Can't warp that in.
I should have just transitioned to mass gates and killed him.
Understood. I stalk through the stars.
But hey, it is what it is.
Nothing left in that mineral cluster. We don't have enough minerals.
We're going to the later stages.
I am eager to Zerg. Fly on.
Not enough
For honor.
energy. Energy's too low.
Time for
Not enough energy.
Shaz.
Upgrade is ready for you.
Engaging the enemy.
Whoa!
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Can't warp that in. We don't have enough minerals. That's gonna require more gas. We need more Vespine.
Consciousness awakening.
Our probes are under attack.
Ancient glory presiding.
Our warriors are under attack.
Speak. Ancient glory reborn. Here to speak.
Cry on.
Wait, what? Couldn't select the Nova. Oh man, that feels good. So see guys, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is my whole point in the whole random discussion. Random players have two races that are way weaker than the main race. So even though the one time you're gonna get clapped because they're random and they got their best race, 2 out of 3 times they're gonna get worse race and you're gonna clap them. Unless you don't know how to scout, which, you know.
Need more minerals.
What's the score? 2-1 right now.
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals.
Random is OP, Reddit said so. That's right. Reddit said so, guys. I wanna go for wall up here now.
Need more minerals for that. That'll cost more minerals than we have. Construct additional pipelines.
Zerg. Easy, baby. Bold of you to assume I don't have 3 weak races, though. That's a point. Top players have no problem to be all 3 race 7k MMR. How do I delete someone else's comment off of internet's history? Not just of my channel. How do I delete your account and make sure
That'll cost more.
that kind of sentence is never formed again?
We don't have enough minerals. Need more minerals for that. That'll cost more minerals.
There's like 10 players in the world that reach 7k MMR with 1 race. And these are Pugers, dude. Pro players have no issue reaching 7k with all 3 races.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Oh my god. Amazing. That's all I can say. Amazing. I wanted to say hi, MMR. Well, even that's not true. Most pro players' off races are terrible. Like, who has good off races? Cyril has good Terran. When I say good, like 6.2k, 6.3k Terran.
We serve. Give us your command.
Maru has like 6 point something k Protoss. Not many pro players have good off races.
Need more minerals for that. We don't have enough minerals. That'll cost more. Need more minerals for that.
Pour Allah. Let none show us. Forward. Yes, Executor. Not give. Where? Come. Let your will, ire, shall be reclaimed. Najakar, we serve with pride. To glory. Yes, let your will be heard. Ire shall be reclaimed. Najak, we serve with pride. For Celeste.
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals.
Our window is short. You seek God. How can I aid you?
I am eager to...
Our window is short.
We're done.
Nas of time.
Can't warp that in. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Let your will be heard.
Need more minerals for that.
Combat awaits.
Can't warp that in. We don't have enough minerals.
The firstborn shall persevere.
Energy. Our base is under attack.
Ire, combat awaits. The firstborn shall persevere. Give us your
An Erodine Rashagal.
let your
The threads of
Not enough
fate
energy.
lie bare. Harmonized.
Upgrade is ready for use.
forth wind
Need more minerals for that.
forward to glory. Executor. Give us your command. We are one mind. It's glorious combat. Faith. We serve Najakar. Where shall we march? Forward. Let your will be heard. Iron. Najakar. Give us your command. Yes. Combat. Let Najakar unite. Ire shall be reclaimed.
I return
We don't have enough minerals.
Nas away.
Mineral field depleted.
Glory to the day.
Left in that mineral cluster.
Combat. We serve. Let your will. Give us your command.
Can't warp that in. Huh. I guess that can't work without a power field.
Oh, shouldn't have.
Mineral field depleted. Need more minerals for that.
To the day. Combat. No. The firstborn shall persevere.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
We. Yes. I. Give us.
We've completely mined out a mineral field.
Hello?
Nothing left in that mineral cluster.
Combat. Give up. Yes, Executor.
We've completely mined out a mineral field. That's gonna require more gas. Mineral field depleted. We've completely mined out.
Combat.
We're done with the reef. Not enough vesting.
Yeah.
We don't have enough. Looks like our warriors are seeing some action.
Yes, Executor. Naja.
That'll cost more minerals.
We serve with. Let your will be heard. We serve. Where shall Naja
Mineral field depleted. Our warriors are under attack. Looks like our warriors are seeing some action.
Ire, yes. Let your. Where? Naja, give us your command. Come back. Give us. Where shall Ire?
My charge.
I have met the enemy. Let your will. Yes, exactly. We not. Ire. Yes. Let's not come. Where shall? Let's come back. Give us your command. Where shall we go? I come. We serve.
Nothing left in that mineral cluster. We don't have enough minerals. That'll cost more minerals than we have. Our probes are under attack. Need more minerals for that. We don't have enough minerals.
GG. The 3-star stuck Archon boys. You know what? I'll give him Nightshade. I feel like that was a bugged recall. No, it wasn't a bugged recall. There was just a lot of Archons, and when they recalled, there was no space around the Nexus, so they got booped behind the minerals. I mean, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to work, but that's how it works. Do you play IM qualifier next week? Nah. Don't care. I've been getting into Age of Empires quite a bit. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It's funny how Age of Empires, by the way, battles feel more epic with like 60, 70 supply than StarCraft II battles with like 130 supply of units. Because the units die too fast. Are you planning to play Civilization, the older ones? Civilization is really, like, it's the worst. Is it a worst? It's probably one of the top 3 worst game or bottom 3 worst games for streaming or doing content because the games last so long. Yeah, I think it might be the worst the worst game to stream. Civilization. It's just so slow and you know there's not much going on.
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals.
Yeah, what is the map? Yeah, I don't know. I'm playing blind. Is my monitor off or? Is my monitor off? Like, I can't see anything.
That'll cost more minerals.
All right, we're a Nightshade. I forgot. Sorry. We're a Nightshade. Never mind. Guys, I know you might be thinking the like turning the light or the bright mode on Twitch is gonna help. It's not. I've tried everything. Okay, the scientists in this world have tried everything. Nothing can make this map bearable.
We don't have enough minerals.
It is what it is. It's like
That'll cost more
cue up spooky music. Like a horror movie. See that? Look. I can hear the spooky music. Mother trucker. Okay. Ah, Zergy Zerg. Oh, but Beastie, look, the first pylon to Poogers, dude. How are you gonna play this game? Wah. Like the first pylon is game ending, dude. Whoa.
Don't have enough minerals. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Literal poogers. So this is the main complaint from the Protoss players to random. This situation is super unfair and there's nothing Protoss can do about it. Watch and learn, bitch. You make a pylon, you make a Stargate. Wow. And then you make 2 gateways. Wow. That's it. You've now completed the game. Big deal. Boo-hoo.
Need more minerals for that.
Where shall we? Give us.
That's all. That's all you gotta do.
We don't have enough minerals.
I don't know how to wall off on this map.
Yes, we serve combat awaits.
Not enough energy.
Naja, come.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Whoa! Wow! You can win versus random. Whoa!
That'll cost more minerals than we have. Need more minerals for that.
Yes, I am. Where? Let your will be heard.
Dimensional springs attuned.
We are one mind. We serve with pride. Give us your command.
An Aerodine Washagal.
Naja Kar.
An omen. We meet our fate. A win. You seek guidance?
Energy's too low. Research complete.
How can I aid you? Let
I think we need more pylons.
Glory to the Daemon.
a wind and Aerodine Washagal.
Firstborn.
We interpret.
Huh, I guess that.
The enemy has discovered us.
Huh, I guess that can't work without a power.
Let your will be heard.
An omen. Nausea. Music guided. An Aerodine.
Ire.
We command me.
Give us your command.
We need more Beastyqt. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Not
Oh, how can I aid you?
We don't have enough minerals. Our base is under attack. Mined out a mineral field. Looks like our warriors are seeing some action. Construct additional pylons. Can't warp that in. Seems more pylons are required. Warp that in. Need more minerals for that. Our warriors are under attack. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Use the threads of fate lie.
That's gonna require more gas. Research complete.
Man, where do I expand? I've played this map a total of 2 times. This is the 2nd time.
Upgrade complete. Nothing left in that mineral cluster. We're done with the research. Looks like our warriors are seeing some action. The enemy is gunning for our probes. That's gonna require more gas.
My child.
I think we need more pylons. Need more minerals for that. Upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted.
Our window is short.
Can't warp that in.
We eternal.
You are a light.
time for battle.
We shall.
Waste my meditation is embrace the glory of battle.
Assault de Templar. Un Orkai Atur.
Our warriors are under attack.
Our mind. Un
Nothing left in that mineral cluster.
Embrace the glory of
Our probes are under attack.
Na Adam.
Our light of the column.
One of our pylons is under enemy fire. Mineral field depleted. Nothing left in that mineral cluster. Enemy is gunning for our probes. We need more Vespine. Can't warp that in. Mineral field depleted. Upgrade is ready for use. Enemy is gunning for our probes. Our base is under attack. Looks like our warriors are seeing some action. Not enough Vespine. Our probes are under attack. One of our pylons is under enemy fire. Enemy is gunning for our probes. Construct additional pylons. Our probe upgrade is ready for use. One of our pylons is under enemy fire.
We will overcome.
Enemy is gunning for our probes. Our probes are under attack.
Justice be done. We embrace the glory of
The enemy is gunning for our probes. Find out.
Lord guidance.
We are the light of the power.
Can't warp that in.
Where do I?
Un or we. Our we. Un.
Energy's too low.
Our duty.
We. Our.
Mined out a mineral field. Not enough energy.
We.
Is complete.
We cannot hold.
We've exhausted a Vespine geyser. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Our mind.
Warp field online.
We shall stand against the dark.
We don't have enough minerals. A Vespine guy. One of our pylons is under enemy fire.
We see justice.
Upgrade complete.
Our mind. Our focus. We stand as one.
Our base is under attack.
And uncassette. We are.
Our warriors are under attack. Mineral field depleted.
As one. I will comply.
GG.
Nothing left in that mineral.
Now, let's talk about what just happened, okay? So, I won the show match 4-1. First things first. He beat me in a PvP. And this is what I've always been saying. To kind of go back to the beginning, right? I've always said, assuming that random player's best race is Protoss, and you get to play PvP, let's say, and you wall off on the low ground, you are at a disadvantage as a Protoss guy, right? But because the random player will have more worse races, aka Terran and Zerg, because it's 2 of them versus only Protoss, you will be at an advantage. Like if you play 10 games versus random players, you will have 6 games, 6 games that are favored towards you. Now the community outrage, well, not community, I guess some people, is that for Protoss it's too hard because they don't know where to put the pylon, which is just not true. Because you can always, in my opinion, it's always better to put the pylon on the high ground, because if it's PvP, you're fine. If it's PvT, it doesn't matter. And then if it's PvZ, you can just wall off like I just did, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. If the Zerg opens pull first with speed, you just cut 2 probes and you make a wall faster so you don't get speeding all in. And that's it. Like, there's no big difference. And there's this outrage that, like, oh man, Protoss is such a disadvantage if they play against random players that, like, they can't come back and it's so unfair. It's just absolutely not true. Well, but in a ladder setting, it doesn't help the random player because you don't face the same player several times. No, it doesn't matter. It's the same. Because if you face 10 different random players, this is how probability works. This is how math works. You will face over time the same amount of their worst, best, and medium races. So it's average. Like, you're never favored as a random player. That was my point. You're only, well, never. You're favored 1/3 of the time when you get, assuming that Protoss is your best race, and you get a PvP, and the opponent Protoss walls off on the low ground. Then you're favored. That's it. The whole point is the random players usually are very gimmicky. I mean, FightingFrog, not so much. He played pretty straight up, I'd say. But random players are usually pretty gimmicky, so you can just play defensive and let them kill themselves on you. They only know how to do one thing. And how often do you meet random players as well? Not very often. Because there's not too many of them. This 4-1 proves nothing. We all know you lost the PvP because they're not knowing where to place your pylon. See, the funny thing is, in that game, I placed my pylon where it should be and I still lost. So, there you go. Listen, I know that there's no teammates in StarCraft II, and the balance whining is getting old. So now people are whining about random players, and it's just not working, okay? You gotta find another excuse, or, check this out, or you can learn how to play. Amazing. Just whine about Smurfs. Well, see, whining about Smurfs is like so 2018, the beginning of 19. Whining about random is like second half of 2019. We'll see what happens in 2020. We'll see. You never know. Who do I blame when I lose then? See, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. That's something that, I mean, it's a new year. We're going to have to figure it out. I don't know. I mean, we'll figure it out. I'm sure something's gonna pop, like the colors are unfair in the game, or like the font of the units is unfair. Like, yes, we'll figure it out. If you think random is an advantage, then you should play random. Exactly. But you know why those people don't play it? Because it's not. So yeah, GG's. GG's. And you know, I'm sure there's gonna be people that are like, oh well, doing one best of 7 doesn't prove anything. And it's a series, so in you know, on ladder it's different. How? You just scout, and if you don't know how to scout and you lose to cheeses, that's because you suck at the game. Okay, not because of random, mother trucker. And listen, sucking at the game is okay. I suck at StarCraft. We all suck at StarCraft. You can have your little fit, you know. You can have your little rage. That's what I do. Sometimes I'm like, you know. But at the end of the day, when I lose, there's a very good chance it was my fault.